when you're talking about GOATs of the W, I need my name to be up there, at least top 3. Like, that's my goal, is like, I want something like...
Before Caitlin Clark ever stepped onto a WNBA court, the world was already watching, but nobody expected her to turn rookie status into a revolution. Forbes' 2025 ranking of the most powerful women in sports placed Clark at number 4, making her the highest-ranked athlete on the entire list, and immediately positioning her as figure of historic significance. Her $8.1 million season didn't just shatter rookie records. It sent a seismic message across sports culture. The earning potential of female athletes could now rival the best of the men. Yet Clark's rise wasn't built solely on financial gains. Every pass, every game-winning shot, every precise dribble on the court was an assertion of her talent, discipline, and vision. But more than that, it was a demonstration that visibility, skill, and dedication could converge to create something far greater than numbers and box score. It could create influence, inspiration, and blueprint for generations of young women determined to defy old expectations. From the very beginning, Clark's story was layered with nuance. Her ascent wasn't just the tale of a gifted athlete. It was a cultural statement. While WNBA rookies typically make $60,000 in their first year, a figure respectable but modest, Clark transformed off-court deals into multi-million-dollar influence before even stepping onto the professional floor. Her rookie salary barely grazed the league minimum, but endorsements, brand partnerships, and strategic contracts catapulted her into financial independence and global relevance. Nike's landmark $28 million, 8-year guaranteed contract was only the opening act. Gatorade soon followed, placing Clark alongside cultural icons like Serena Williams and LeBron James, while Wilson Sporting Goods made her the face of their basketball line. Every deal wasn't simply about money. It was a validation of Clark's cultural weight and a rebuke of an industry that long undervalued female athletes. Yet with meteoric rises come inevitable friction. Clark's unprecedented visibility triggered one of the most talked-about moments of the WNBA season, Wilson's public and subtle reactions to Clark's ascent. Ranked 15th on Forbes' list, Wilson appeared visibly unsettled by the rookie's sudden dominance, not in skill alone, but in influence, income, and cultural resonance. Analysts dissected every social media post, every interview remark, and every public appearance, framing a narrative of rivalry that enthralled fans and media alike. Some described Wilson's reactions as unhinged, while others interpreted them as the natural tension between a rising star and an established legend. What emerged was more than a personal feud. It became a lens through which the WNBA's evolving economic and cultural hierarchy could be observed. Fans debated equity, legacy, and ambition, while behind the scenes, both athletes navigated the intersection of fame, power, and expectation in a league suddenly catapulted into global attention. Clark's influence, however, extended far beyond interpersonal dynamics. Her social media mastery became a cornerstone of her rising power. Brands quickly recognized that her engagement, millions of interactions across posts, videos, and live content, outperformed many athletes with far larger followings. Every highlight reel, behind-the-scenes glimpse, and authentic moment created organic amplification, translating into tangible value for partners who sought not only visibility, but authentic resonance. Her content didn't just sell products. It shaped narratives, elevated discourse, and offered fans a personal connection to her journey. Through this digital dominance, Clark proved that modern athletic success is measured not only by points and titles, but by reach, influence, and the ability to command attention in real time. Her speaking engagements further amplified her presence. Corporations paid her more for a single appearance than many players earn in an entire season. From keynote speeches at international sports conventions to intimate workshops with corporate executives, Clark shared insights about perseverance, strategy, and personal growth. Her story became a lesson in resilience and vision, inspiring audiences who might never step onto a basketball court but understood the broader stakes of determination, opportunity, and influence. Each appearance wasn't merely transactional. It reinforced her brand, expanded her network, and cemented her status as a thought leader across sports, business, and culture. The on-court impact was equally dramatic. Clark's performances generated a surge in WNBA viewership, with games featuring her attracting over 400% more viewers than average. Networks scrambled for broadcast rights, advertisers clamored for slots, and cities hosting fever games reported spikes in ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and local business activity. Hotels and restaurants cited Clark as a driving factor in economic upticks, while fans traveled across state lines just to witness her play. In real terms, Clark wasn't simply scoring points. She was driving entire ecosystems, creating tangible impact far beyond the scoreboard. Analysts described her as an economic engine, an athlete whose very presence translated into revenue streams and cultural attention traditionally reserved for male sports icons. What truly set Clark apart, however, was the strategic intelligence with which she navigated this ecosystem. Each endorsement, appearance, and social media interaction was deliberate. Unlike athletes whose personal brand eclipses their athletic identity, Clark maintained a balance. Excellence on the court remained paramount, while influence often enhanced rather than overshadowed her career. In doing so, she reframed the conversation about female athletes, demonstrating that professional success, marketability, and cultural impact can coexist without compromise. The Forbes recognition at number 4 wasn't merely a reflection of earnings. Analysts measured financial influence, endorsement reach, cultural resonance, and media visibility, concluding that Clark's holistic impact rivaled, and in some cases surpassed, that of athletes with decades of experience. She eclipsed tennis champions, Olympic icons, and established sports legends in an achievement that typically requires longevity, but Clark accomplished it in her rookie year. The narrative was unmistakable. Talent, strategy, and visibility could converge to create a power unparalleled in modern sports history. Even amidst accolades, Clark remained grounded. Her advocacy for pay equity, mentorship of younger players, and commitment to highlighting systemic disparities showcased a social consciousness rare in athletes of any age. While many stars focus solely on personal achievement, Clark understood that visibility brings responsibility. She used her platform not merely to celebrate her own successes, but to interrogate the structures that limited the potential of others. In interviews and speaking engagements, she addressed the long-standing pay gaps between male and female athletes, illustrating the financial inequities with clarity and precision, while offering concrete strategies for reform. Her commentary was never performative. It was informed by research, lived experience, and a desire to create tangible change. In doing so, she encouraged league executives, sponsors, and fans to rethink assumptions about value, performance, and recognition in women's sports. Mentorship became another cornerstone of Clark's off-court influence. From the moment she signed her rookie contract, she invested time in developing emerging talent, particularly high school and college players preparing to enter the professional arena. She created informal mentorship programs, sharing insights on training, professional etiquette, and navigating media attention. For young athletes, guidance from someone already excelling on the world stage was transformative. She provided both roadmap and a source of inspiration, proving that excellence in sports could coexist with humility, responsibility, and community. Clark's efforts fostered a culture of collaboration rather than competition, challenging the mentality pervasive in elite athletics. Her systemic impact extended to the broader sports culture as well. Clark spoke openly about underrepresentation in media coverage, emphasizing how storytelling shapes perceptions of talent and opportunity. She pushed networks and publications to provide equitable attention to women's sports, highlighting the financial and social benefits of visibility. Beyond traditional media, Clark leveraged social platforms to share behind-the-scenes experiences, breaking down barriers between athletes and fans. These efforts created a more engaged, informed audience, while demonstrating that professional sports could serve as a platform for education and social advocacy. Perhaps most strikingly, Clark demonstrated that influence could be measured not just by endorsements or statistics, but by the ability to reshape expectations. Her presence challenged assumptions about what young women could aspire to in athletics, business, and leadership. She became a symbol of possibility, showing that talent, intelligence, and social responsibility could combine to produce transformative outcomes. Each public appearance, every media interview, and all social media engagements reinforced this narrative, creating a ripple effect that reached far beyond basketball courts. Did I end this? She transformed from an athlete into a movement, a figure whose influence touched not only games and endorsements, but perceptions, opportunities, and the cultural understanding of female sports. Clark's approach illustrates that greatness is multidimensional. It encompasses skill, impact, integrity, and advocacy. While championships and accolades may define careers, lasting legacy is forged by the changes an individual inspires in the structures around them. Caitlin Clark, with her vision, voice, and dedication, exemplifies this principle, proving that one athlete's commitment to equity and mentorship can ripple outward to create systemic transformation. She isn't merely a star. She is a standard-bearer for the future of women's sports, a living example of how influence can extend far beyond personal achievement to empower generations to come. The tension with Wilson, while initially framed as rivalry, underscored a broader theme. Clark's presence disrupted existing hierarchies. Established stars were confronted with the rapid rise of a peer whose influence transcended performance, forcing recalibration of status, visibility, and opportunity. Fans and media thrived on the narrative, dissecting the intersection of ambition, jealousy, and respect. Yet, beyond the spectacle, Clark's trajectory remained unshaken. She continued to perform, engage, and inspire, demonstrating that resilience and focus can withstand scrutiny and pressure, hallmarks of lasting greatness. Clark's story also illuminated the evolving economics of professional women's sports. Endorsements previously thought unattainable, audience engagement metrics that rivaled male leagues, and speaking opportunities commanding six-figure payouts reflected a fundamental shift. Stakeholders began re-evaluating investment, marketing, and promotional strategies. Clark had not only earned wealth, she had generated demand, proving that female athletic excellence can drive revenue, cultural influence, and community impact at an unprecedented scale. By combining athletic prowess, strategic branding, cultural awareness, and social influence, Caitlin Clark established a template for the modern athlete. She challenged the industry's assumptions, proving that visibility, authenticity, and intelligence could amplify talent in ways traditional metrics could never capture. Each move, each post, each performance was both calculated and inspiring, redefining expectations of what a WNBA rookie and a female athlete more broadly could achieve. Clark's approach was multidimensional. On the court, she dominated with precision, resilience, and consistency, proving that skill and discipline remain the foundation of success. Off the court, she cultivated a personal brand that was unmistakably her own, leveraging endorsements, speaking engagements, and social media to shape narrative rather than simply react to it. Her cultural awareness further amplified her influence. Clark used her platform to advocate for systemic change, address gender disparities, and highlight the challenges faced by underrepresented athletes. She encouraged fans, brands, and leagues to rethink what constitutes value in sports, blending performance with purpose. In doing so, she created a new standard, one where financial success, social impact, and athletic excellence are not mutually exclusive, but interconnected. Clark's trajectory proves that modern sports stardom is as much about strategic vision as it is about talent, setting a precedent for generations of athletes to come. And yet, perhaps the most compelling aspect of Clark's story is the emotional resonance. Fans, young athletes, and colleagues alike see in her journey a narrative of possibility, of barriers broken, ceilings shattered, and ceilings redefined. Her career exemplifies ambition tempered with strategy, excellence paired with influence, and success measured not only in accolades, but in the lives inspired along the way. Clark isn't just a player to watch. She's a symbol of transformation, a living proof that determination, intelligence, and visibility can rewrite history. As Caitlin Clark continues to navigate the pressures of elite sports, media scrutiny, and cultural expectation, one fact remains undeniable. She has reshaped the WNBA, the economics of women's sports, and the narrative of athletic power. Her trajectory, marked by talent, influence, and vision, is just beginning. The industry, her peers, and the fans all stand witness to a phenomenon that will resonate for decades. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA, she revolutionized it. And as the league evolves around her, one thing is certain: the future of women's sports will never look the same. But Clark's impact extends far beyond the arena. In an era where visibility dictates opportunity, She has demonstrated that athletic excellence is not enough. Strategic branding, cultural awareness, and personal narrative are equally vital. Her presence forces league sponsors and media outlets to reconsider how they invest in female athletes, how they market women's sports, and how they measure value. The WNBA, long struggling for equal attention, has found in Clark a catalyst capable of accelerating its reach and redefining its public perception. Television networks now see primetime potential where once there was skepticism. Advertisers recognize that women's basketball can drive revenue on par with traditional male-dominated leagues. Cities hosting Fever games have witnessed an influx of fans, tourism, and local commerce, proving that Clark's influence creates economic impact as tangible as her athletic feats. Her ability to perform under pressure while simultaneously managing global visibility sets her apart. Few rookies or even veteran athletes can claim mastery of both performance and public influence at such a young age. Clark's strategic approach to contracts, endorsements, and social media interactions underscores a savvy rarely seen in professional sports, male or female. By transforming herself into a cultural figure as well as an athlete, she demonstrates that influence is no longer measured purely by points or titles, but by the capacity to inspire, engage, and generate systemic change. Moreover, Clark's story resonates on a social and cultural level. She has become a beacon for aspiring athletes worldwide, particularly young women who have historically been overlooked or undervalued in professional sports. Her success validates their ambitions, proving that dedication and strategy can overcome entrenched inequalities. Even within the league, Clark's presence is changing dynamics. Established stars like Wilson, while exceptional in their own right, must now navigate a landscape transformed by Clark's visibility and marketability. Rivalries take on new dimensions, not just about on-court supremacy, but about influence, legacy, and cultural resonance. Clark's emergence challenges assumptions about hierarchy, forcing peers, media, and fans to recognize talent and impact wherever it emerges, rather than adhering to long-standing notions of dominance. In the coming years, Clark's potential for transformation is limitless. Her combination of skill, intelligence, and foresight ensures that she will not only continue to elevate the WNBA, but also expand the conversation around women in sports globally. As she continues to leverage media, endorsements, and her personal narrative, Clark is positioned to redefine what it means to be a professional female athlete in the 21st century. She embodies the convergence of athletic excellence, financial empowerment, and social influence, proving that these qualities are not mutually exclusive, but mutually reinforcing. Caitlin Clark's journey is a blueprint for a new era of women's sports, one where talent is recognized, opportunity is maximized, and impact extends far beyond the playing field. Her career is a reminder that leadership in sports is measured not only by points scored or titles won, but by the ability to change narratives, challenge systems, and inspire a generation.